Hi guys, so I want to talk about the attempt on Trump's life. A few hours ago, Trump appeared to have been shot in his right ear while in a campaign rally in Pennsylvania. Once it happened, apparently a lot of people started thinking that it was a staged event because on Twitter, stage started trending, and many people seem to entertain the possibility that this might just be a conspiracy for Trump to win the election. So that's what I want to dive into today, knowing what we know. Thankfully, we're in the social media era, so we're able to get footage of what happened in real time. And if you do think this was staged, your opinion is very valid, but what I just want to do is look through what we know at the moment and try and decipher if there was any hanky-panky involved. So from the footage, what we can decipher was Trump was on the campaign podium and he was directing the crowd to a chart, to his right, which kind of showed illegal migration numbers by year. And we know this because there was secondary footage, that showed where he was pointing to the charts just at his right. And as this was going on, some shots rang out, like gunshot sounds rang out, and Trump immediately grabbed his right ear, like, what was going on. And then after that, he goes to the ground, trying to take cover. And that's when we see the Secret Service agents, they form like a protective shell around him until they confirm that he can move, like he can move out again. So even from this part, a lot of conspiracies already start to grow. Like, was he actually shot? There are some people that say that it was the teleprompter that was shot and a shard of glass from the teleprompter was what caught his ear. We do have footage of that shows that his ear was bleeding. Some people think the Secret Service actually cut his ear when they formed the shell around him. Like, that's some conspiracy. But I think we can safely debunk the saying that he wasn't shot because we have this footage and some networks have already even gone forward to zoom in on the footage and it actually shows where the bullet was whizzing past his ear. And in addition to that, there were people that took gunfire behind where Trump was speaking. So we can safely assume that he was actually shot at. If you do believe that Trump actually orchestrated this, I don't see how somebody, unless he was an absolute psychopath, would consent to being shot at that close to the head, because it's a 50-50 shot. I don't think even the most trained sniper on this planet can aim at your ear from that distance and get just your ear. And it's not like Trump was stationary. Trump's head was moving. In fact, from the footage, it looks like he moved his head for a fraction of a second, and that's what might have saved his life. But on the other hand, when Secret Service actually deemed it fit for Trump to get up and leave the scene, there was audio that showed Trump, telling them to wait for him to grab his shoe.
Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes.
I got you, sir. I got you, sir.
Let me get my shoes, sir.
Hold that in your head. It's bloody.
So we gotta move to the bus. Move to the bus. Let me get my shoes.
This is something else that also lends credence to the conspiracy theory. Like, why would Trump tell them to wait for him to grab his shoe? I mean, it's just a shoe. I think the priority should be, in that kind of situation, getting him out of there as quickly as possible, in case a second shooter might have been there. But they waited for him to get his shoe, apparently. And then the audio showed Trump saying wait again, like wait. And that was when he now did the pose, and said something like telling people to fight. Like, that's what his mouth seems to be, because we didn't hear the audio of him actually saying fight. So it just seems very strange that he would wait for a photo op, when he's getting shot at, just to, get himself a lead in the elections. And the Secret Service will actually wait for him to do that instead of just whisking him out as quickly as possible. But that picture was fire, though. Like, I can't lie, that's an iconic picture which will probably be shown for years to come. And I'm going to talk later about the Secret Service. Their behavior was very strange as well. I'm going to talk later about that. We had a witness that went on BBC. It looked like he wore a Trump cap, so it seemed like he was a Trump supporter. And he spoke on his own view of events. And I just have to say, I have to commend this guy so much. I don't know his name.
And watch and listen to the rally, right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, But we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service.
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh, yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
I just have to commend this guy for giving that testimony right there on the spot on BBC News, no less. Because if not for him, and there were others on the scene that actually gave their testimony that matched what he said, but if not for him, it would not have entered into the mainstream. His own take on what happened. And from what he said, some of the Trump supporters in the crowd, some of the rally goers trying to warn the Secret Service and police that there's somebody on the roof with a rifle, and they did not respond in time. From what he was saying, it was like they had close to 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. They were warning this guy, and they were not doing anything. Police wasn't doing anything. Secret Service was not doing anything. So it's very, very suspicious, and again lends some credence to the conspiracy that Trump might have planned all this. So unless you want to say that the witnesses were also in on it, you want to add the witness testimony to part of the conspiracy, which is very, very unlikely. For that to happen, it either means that the Secret Service and the police were intentionally holding back for the shooter to finish, or they are very, very incompetent. So that's what I can glean from this. Either there was indeed the plot to assassinate Trump and they were in on it, or they are very, very incompetent and they did not cover that place well. So for me, that's what makes or breaks this theory of if this was staged. If it was staged, it means that the government had a hand in it, because it would mean that the police and the Secret Service, they intentionally left that place unmanned, and it also means that they knew that the shooter was going to shoot at Trump and they allowed him. They said, okay, let him shoot. If it was staged, does it mean that Trump has the power to control the Secret Service officers that are there, the police officers that were there, and they also had a prior arrangement with the shooter, who was later, his life was ended there on the spot. Did he agree to that? Did he agree that, okay, I would take this impossible shot, move, hit Trump's ear, and then you kill me? Was it, the stage theory does not really hold water. Like, there's too many variables there. And if you are saying it was staged, like, staged by who? Was it staged by Trump? So that's the question that has to be asked. Does Trump actually have the power to put all these variables in place, to tell Secret Service that they are going to shoot at me today, don't do anything, or they plan it all out like a movie beforehand? That's where the doubt starts to creep in. More information is still being farmed about the shooter, and apparently they say it's a 20-year-old. This is such a win for like social media, and it shows how our technology has changed over the years, because this is a historic moment, like, for something like this to happen. I've heard of assassinations in the past, like JFK, like Princess Diana, and when I hear of these things and I see the footage, there's always this mystery around it. Like, nobody really knows what happened, because then the technology was not there to actually pinpoint, and social media was not there to get information in real time, get these videos in real time. But this time around, we can see how everything happened. Everything is laid up on the table, so it's up to you to decipher and believe what you want to believe. But from what I've seen, there's an investigation going on, both into the Secret Service, the police, and to know what exactly happened. In my opinion, I think there was actually an assassination attempt, an attempt on his life, but that's just based on everything I've seen. The variables for it being a plan, there are so many. And if it was actually a plan, did Trump have the power to put all these variables together? I don't know. Maybe I have to ask, like, any Americans watching, is that how the Secret Service works? Like, I know Trump is a former president, but he's not the president at the moment. But does he have the power to, like, control the Secret Service around him? For what I'm saying, this might be a make or break moment in the campaign. Like, this might be the moment that won the election for Trump. Who knows? But we still have a long way to go. We still don't know if Biden will still be the candidate that Democratic Party goes with. And Trump, I don't know. I hope he's okay. It does seem like he's okay, Sha. He put out a tweet, something earlier, that said, he was thanking Secret Service. He was thanking the Secret Service after that performance. Well, it doesn't seem like he's escalating the situation too much. Thanks so much for watching my analysis. What do you think about the whole situation? Let me know in the comments. My name is Obi King, and I will see you guys in the next one.